Today I'll be taking up the poem A Tiger in the Zoo by Leslie Norris. Read the stanza and answer the questions that follow. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. Name the poem and the poet. Question number 2. Who does he refer to? Where is he kept? Where is he? Is he happy there? Pick out the word from the extract that means same as bright. Answers. These lines have been taken from the poem A Tiger in the Zoo by Leslie Norris. He refers to the tiger. He is kept in a cage. He is in the cage in the zoo. No, the tiger is not happy in the zoo. Bright means vivid. Question number 2. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. Who does he refer to? Where is the tiger at present? Give opposite to the line to light. Pick out the word from the extract which means waiting in hiding. He refers to the tiger. The tiger is in its natural habitat at present. Light, shadow, wait in hiding, lurk. Question number 3. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. Who is he in the stanza? Why does he move around the houses? How should he be terrorizing the village? Give noun form of terrorize. Answers. He in the stanza stands for the tiger. He moves around the house in search of his prey. He should be terrorizing the village people with baring of his white fangs and with his claws. Terrorize, the noun is terror. Question number 4. But he is locked in a concrete cell. His strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Questions. Where is he locked? Where is he striding? Whom does he ignore? Pick out the word from the stanza which means walk stiffly. Answers. He is locked in a concrete cell behind the bars. He is striding in his concrete cell. He ignores the visitors. Stalk. Question number 5. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. Who does he refer to? What does he do at night? What are the cars doing? Pick out the word from the stanza which means gleaming. He refers to the tiger. The tiger watches the stars at night. The cars are patrolling the area. Gleaming means brilliant. Short answers. How does the tiger feel in the zoo? The poet describes the feelings of the tiger in the zoo. He keeps on moving from one corner to another. He stalks in his vivid stripes, moving the few steps of his cage. He is not happy. He expresses his silent anger. Question number 2. How does the tiger walk in the cage? The tiger walks stately and furiously in the cage. What message do we get from the poem? We come to know that animals like freedom. They like to live freely in the forest. The animals do not want to be caged or live in a zoo. In the zoo, their life becomes pitiable. Freedom is a birthright. It is the most beautiful gift of God. It is valuable for all human beings as well as for creatures. Discuss this with reference to a tiger in the zoo. Freedom is the most beautiful gift of God. Freedom is a birthright. Without freedom, all is in vain or fruitless or useless. Since man has come on the earth, he tries to enslave the weaker section for his own selfishness. If a bird lives in a golden cage, it cannot be happy. It loves to fly freely in an open sky. In the same way, if a man lives in a prison and gets everything, he cannot feel happiness. But if a man lives freely, he will be happy even in the poor conditions. In this poem, we find the description of a tiger in cage and a tiger in the open forest. There is a great contrast between their behavior. The tiger are becoming extinct due to deforestation and poaching. How can people be sensitized about the need of tiger? Tigers are considered as an endangered species. People are killing tigers for their skins, bone, claws, and teeth. Due to this, the population of tiger has declined. We should not encroach on their habitat as we all need sheltered home. Tigers also need natural surroundings. Forests should not be cut down. Tigers must be given more space to move freely around. Freedom is life for both humans and animals. Elaborate. The poet describes the feelings of the tiger in the zoo. He keeps on moving from one corner to another. He stalks in his vivid stripes, moving the few steps of his cage. He is not happy. He expresses his anger silently. Those who deny freedom to others do not deserve it for themselves. Comment. The poet describes the feelings of the tiger in the zoo. He keeps on moving from one corner to another. He stalks in his vivid stripes, moving the few steps of his cage. He is not happy. He expresses his anger silently. Tiger is really angry with human beings who have caged it, but it cannot express it violently, so it is expressing it silently. You have to read the poem again and then find out the words that describe the movement and action of the tiger in the cage and in the forest or in the wild. Then you have to arrange them in columns. So, movement and action of the tiger in the cage, stalking, ignoring, hearing. His movement in the cage is restricted and he is unhappy at all places in the cage. Movement and action of the tiger in the wild, lurking, sliding, snarling, bearing, terrorizing. His movement in the wild is liberating, full of freedom, and he is happy prowling in his natural surroundings. Notice the use of a word repeated in lines such as on pads of velvet white in his quiet rage and stares with brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. What do you think is the effect of this repetition? The word quiet has been repeated. Repetition of words express the intensity of the tiger's action. The tiger's intensity of action is reflected. Quietly he is doing, he is angry, but he is expressing it silently. So that shows the intensity of his action. Brilliant has been repeated. It expresses both anger and brightness in the eyes of the tiger. It also creates an effect of intensity. Are zoos necessary for protection or conservation of some species of animals? Are they useful for educating the public? Are there alternatives to zoo? The zoo is a necessary place for some animals to stay safe as they can be hunted down or poisoned by some wild food or could drown in water if they are in the forest. They also create awareness among the public about the nature of animals and make people friendly with animals. However, zoo is not the correct substitute for a forest. In a zoo, an animal would be restricted. It is for this reason that wild sanctuaries are better places for endangered species. These places provide protection as well as natural surroundings to these species. They can roam around freely in their habitat and safe too. The public can visit these parks and get educated about the animals and their lifestyle. The parks and sanctuaries are run using a strict set of rules, the most prominent being ban on hunting. Since animals are in the open, visitors are not allowed to feed them and would not misbehave or try to play with them as they are under strict guidance. Such incidents have been recorded in the zoo where people irritate and tease animals. Hence, a wildlife sanctuary is a good alternative for the animals to be safe as well as to live freely in their natural surroundings. Take a point of view for or against zoo or even both point of view. Write a couple of lines to be spoken in the class. So you can speak for the motion or against the motion. Zoos are both necessary and unnecessary, but the reason in favor are more than its opposite. That is why the number of zoo is increasing throughout the world. Day by day, the number of species of animals is decreasing rapidly. So, zoos are very necessary to protect and conserve them. Many species of wild animals have already become extinct. Animals too are very important for this earth to maintain the ecological system. So, zoo may not be the best alternative, but to protect animals, zoos are a good place. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Good morning to all, respected Asa ma'am and all my dear friends. Today it's me, Kirat Abhishek, representing 10th class, going to speak on the topic moral values. Moral values are positive teachings that help one to do the right things in life. Moral values differ from one individual to another. Moral values are imbibed through people, cultures, religion, teachers, traditions, society, and parents. One keeps learning and improvising himself or herself by receiving new moral values. Moral values find peace through conflict resolutions and prevention and healthy relationships and resolve conflicts. Moral values direct the path, build a good character and better society and help people make the right choices and decisions. Education provides people with multiple options with moral values. Poverty in a country creates struggles, a strive for survival, and harmful habits such as deceit and theft. The practice of moral values helps an individual to build good relationships in their professional and personal life. It also molds the overall personality, conduct, and preparation of individual. Moral or ethical values help a person resolve challenging situations and issues. It also helps them with self-motivation. However, today's society experiences the slow degradation of moral values with time. The youth of the day do not hesitate to practice immoral values such as cheat, lie, steal, etc. Today's society requires competent, responsible humans to keep moral values as a top priority. At last, what I want to tell is moral values are really essential in our life. Thank you.
Good morning to one and all, respected Asha ma'am and all my dear friends. Today, it's I, Kirat Akash, going to speak on the topic reverse brain drain. Reverse brain drain, which refers to migration issue whereby human capital moves in reverse from a more developed country to less developed country that is developing rapidly, which is commonly defined as brain drain. It is also termed as logical outcome of calculated strategy, where migrants accumulate savings, also known as remittance, and develop skills overseas that can be used in their home country. Reverse brain drain can occur when scientists, engineers, or other intellectual elites migrate to a less developed country to learn in its universities, perform research, or gain working experience in areas where education and limited employment opportunities are limited in their home country. These professions then return to their home country after several years of experience to start a related business, teach in universities, or work for a multinational companies in their home country. We have been crying horse about the brain drain from India over last 5 decades or without going in for a well-set blueprint to check the counterproductive phenomenon. Hundreds of thousands of our qualified youngsters take off for higher studies and highly lucrative jobs in US, the UK, Germany, France, Australia, etc. and prefer to settle down there attracted by their facilities and quality of life provided by these countries. When these developed countries provide higher facilities, pay packages and perks, how can we dissuade them from going to abroad? The decades-long debate on the brain drain comes to the conclusion that our youngsters leave India just because of excellence is neither recognized nor rewarded in India. But this could have been partly true because things have been changed beyond recognition today, and talented people can reach the highest position possible if only they are prepared to work hard. Innovations and managerial skills are getting recognition when one can view with others in excellence from any part of the world. Thus, to conclude my speech, thank you.
All present over here, respected Asha ma'am and all my dear friends. Today, it's Akad Alok going to answer the topic, how will be recycling helpful to us? Recycling is very good for our environment. In sense, if we use old and waste things which are no use to us, we can recycle them and turn them into same new things. Since we are saving resources and sending less trash to landfills, this helps in reducing water, air and pollution. In the matter of recycling, we should think about the whole idea: reduce, reuse and recycle. We have been careless up to this point as the way we have treated our Mother Earth. It's the time to change not only the way we do things but the way we think also. United States of Environmental Protection Agency defines recycling as recycling is the process of collecting and processing the trash thrown into the landfills into same new things. Recycling can benefit our community and environment also. We should recycle because recycling helps in keeping environment clean, reduces the amount of waste produced, helps in conservation of non-renewable resources and saves energy and thus avoiding the energy crisis, and there are many more benefits of recycling. With each day passing, our population is also increasing. If the population is also increasing, the waste produced also increases. The waste produced increases, then it needs the more amount of space to dump this waste. As growing population increases, we need space to live and to grow what we eat by the means of agriculture. If that all the space is taken up by this waste, then the survival of humankind would be very difficult. It is believed that for approximately 40 million of newspapers leads to the equivalent of 500,000 of trees ending up in the landfills every week. At last, I want to say that be mindful to what you do, pay attention to what you buy, and always check and see if you need those items or it comes with a less package of waste. We can do all our part and we will make a huge difference. Thank you and all.
Good morning everyone, respected Asha ma'am and all my dear friends. Today it's I, Cadet Sagar, going to speak on the topic money is a good servant but a bad master. Money is a good servant but a bad master. Well said by Francis Bacon. It emphasizes the fact that money should not be given so much importance in one's life now present what is happening in the world now. One should use their talent and do not run after money at the cost of other things at life. No doubt, money is indispensable in the present world now. It is necessary. It is the money through which we can purchase all the necessary comforts and amenities of life. If you have money, you can obtain what seems impossible to others. It is also the money which gives confidence, credit, worthiness, and also money gives capacity and capabilities. Now, people are not giving more importance to each other than the money. They do criminal cases or any unwanted things just for the sake of money, even though not thinking of their uh, prestige and social status. People just start earning money for the sake of enjoyment without even caring of themselves, their family, or anything about their health also. And they become a servant of money, earning not for the sake of themselves. And the time comes when they are not able to use money for themselves or their happiness. At last, I would like to tell a thought for you all. Life is like an ice cream. Enjoy it before it melts.